Hi there, this is garyryanblair. Today, I want to talk to you about why average is over, why you've got to be great. Because I don't think you woke up today to be mediocre. So let's talk about this. In today's environment, mediocrity is a self-imposed death sentence. Now, why is that? Because work, money, and opportunity gravitate to scarce resources. I'm talking about quality labor, about good attitude, and unique skill sets. You see, here's what's not scarce, and that is unskilled labor, poor attitudes, and weak skill sets. In fact, there's a glut, there's a massive surplus of mediocrity in the global marketplace, which explains why it is not held in high regard. Scarcity is what gives greatness such an incredible value, and you fundamentally destroy your chances of a better future by engaging in mediocre behaviors. It's as simple and as straightforward as that. Either you're among the select few who are thriving, or you're like most people who are distracted, overwhelmed, underemployed, and of course struggling. And the raw, the honest figure in the eye truth is this. It's simply not enough just to show up, to go through the motions, and to do your work. And in case you're wondering why, you've got to tattoo this next idea to your forehead. Superior performance is not, it never has been, nor will it ever be the byproduct of ordinary efforts. You must embrace the fact that in order for you to remain competitive, that it's in your best interest to learn what it takes to become great, to make everything count, and to exceed expectations at all times. So let's talk about the truth about greatness. What makes someone ordinary become extraordinary? What enables someone to become one of the great ones of their generation? I'm talking a true master in their area of expertise, perhaps the greatest of all time. Is it their intellect? Is it their genetics or good looks? Is it charisma, leadership qualities, or persuasion skills? Now, some choose to measure greatness in innovations and artistry. Others, they choose to measure greatness in physical strength and speed. While a good number choose to measure greatness in terms of financial gain and physical possessions. You see, influencers, they choose to measure greatness in applause and likes and accolades. Sports fans, they choose to measure greatness in points scored, records broken, and contests won. And while there's no definitive formula or measurement for greatness, there's also no denying that there are common traits that make great people and great organizations stand apart from everybody else. There are simply ways of doing things and thinking about the world that people at the top just do differently. And that is precisely what we're going to focus on right now. So let's talk about how the sausage gets made, how greatness happens. First, greatness requires emotional commitment. See, it was Albert Einstein who beautifully stated that only one who devotes himself to a cause with his whole strength and soul can become a true master. And for this reason, mastery demands all of a person. It's an emotional quality, not an intellectual one, that separates the great from everyone else. You see, we live in a culture that tends to overemphasize intellect, of going to the best schools and getting the right education, but greatness is so much more dependent upon being emotionally committed to the work that you're doing. You see, being emotionally committed to a cause, to a problem or project, well, that enables you to go to places that others are afraid to go, to try things that others are afraid to try, and to be the kind of person that others are afraid to be. So let me give you the second reason as to how greatness takes place. Greatness requires suffering. See, there's no free lunch when it comes to greatness or mediocrity. You're going to pay a price. You're going to struggle. You're going to suffer. You're going to suffer one way or another. And to live at the peak of your potential, you must choose the suffering that's right for you. You must accept that reality. You must embrace that truth, and you must live with it every single day. And the very moment you choose not to continue to pay the price of greatness, is the precise moment that you choose to suffer the consequences of mediocrity, which is the worst kind of suffering. Now, you've got to be very mindful that the suffering cost of mediocrity is always going to be higher than the suffering price of greatness. That brings us to number 3, the third way how greatness evolves. Greatness requires self-awareness. See, those who are truly great by any reasonable standard have a presence about them. I'm talking about a sense of power and conviction that transcends their current position or their circumstance. And unlike most people, the great ones know in their heart of hearts who they really are, why they exist, and what they were born to do. Now, you'll be free to pursue your highest ideal once you discover your reason for existence. So consider a few questions. If you don't know exactly who you are, how can you possibly bring your strengths to bear and truly unleash your greatness? If you don't know exactly who you are, how could you possibly overcome the shortcomings, the setbacks, and the challenges that are obvious to everyone else? You see, your vision will become clear only when you look into your own heart, for the simple reason that he who looks outside merely dreams, but he who looks inside awakens the giant within. So let me leave you with a few thoughts to consider along with a massive blast of encouragement. What more do you need to accomplish in order to become the greatest version of yourself? What would it take to raise your standards and to become the best at what you do? What habits of thinking and behaving do you need to purge in order to showcase your greatness? See, the good news, check that. The great news is that every single day of your life presents you with numerous opportunities to step it up and to show the world just how great you really are. That's why you must give every day of your life the chance to be the best day of your life. And you do that by seizing every opportunity to unleash your greatness. Now, it's clear to me that we're all starving for challenges that are worthy of our secret, limitless capabilities. I believe we're all ravenous for a call to greatness, and that it's our responsibility to summon it, to call it forth by both action and exhortation. You are your very own best coach and cheerleader. Therefore, recognize your ambitions, cater to them, and do everything in the spirit of greatness. Inspire yourself, challenge yourself, call yourself out, self-initiate, self-motivate, self-validate. Because average is over. You've got to be great. And if you really want to unleash your greatness and find out and show the world just how great you really are, then be sure to participate in the 100-Day Challenge. You can get all the details at 100daychallenge.com and make it the very next thing you do.